State your cause, share your story, share your journey. 7 steps to make adversity your advantage. Once again, it's Adell Harris, CEO and founder of Refuse to Lose, a personal empowerment company created to inspire you to make adversity your advantage. Inspirational speaker, personal development coach, and author. I welcome the opportunity to work with you and your group to teach you how to refuse to lose. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know that I have the ability to achieve my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent and continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. I fully realize that no wealth or position will long endure unless it is built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all to whom it affects. I'm succeeding by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use in the cooperation of other people. I induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I eliminate hatred, jealousy, selfishness, cynicism, anger, and fear by developing a true love for all of humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others will never bring me success. I cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and believe in myself. You see, this is my creed. This is my quest to never stop striving for the top, to always keep moving forward, to always be the very best I can be, because I am the power. I am the magic. I cannot be stopped. I am a winner. I promise to always be true to myself because I'm the master and creator of my universe. And I'm responsible for making a positive difference in the world and to the quality of life in it. I live in constant and never-ending improvement. That's a passage from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I started reading books when I graduated college. Didn't read a whole lot before then. I started reading books because you just saw about 2.5 minutes. My childhood, my growing up, it wasn't quite what everyone else around me was. And I didn't have a home to go back to when I walked across that stage and got my degree. But I did know in my heart I wanted to be successful. I knew in my heart that I could do more, I could become more, I just had no clue how. So I thought maybe the answers were in the words on the pages of books. And they were. And so one of those first books I read when I graduated was that book, and that passage stuck out to me. And I put the book down, I come back to it in a couple months or a year later, and it would always just make me feel so good about me. And it became a part of my life. I started coaching, I'd bring it into the locker room and start telling my players, you are the power, you are the magic. Yeah. And it just makes me feel good. So I learned a whole lot about the power of words and how to master my language. And so now as an adult version of me, I've decided, you know what, that's gonna be my identity. That's gonna be my manifesto. That's gonna be my mission statement. So whatever you thought you knew about me, that's the truth. My creed, my quest to never stop striving for the top, to always be the best I can be, to serve everyone, to eliminate hatred, anger, jealousy, cynicism, all of it. That's me. So that's the perfect introduction. I'm Adell Harris. I'm CEO and founder of a company called Refuse to Lose, a personal empowerment company I created to inspire the world to make adversity their advantage and to challenge people to enlarge their vision of what's possible. This message, this mission about adversity, obviously I've been someone who's been an athlete or a coach most of my life. Started playing basketball at the age of 8, just resigned as the head coach at UNC Wilmington in the spring of 2017. That's 30 years of my existence that I have dribbled, shot a basketball, or been teaching someone how to do it. So I know adversity in terms of sport and athletic and trying to excel and trying to have success as it relates to that. But I also know that success, surfacey success, is a warm place to hide. Right? So I was hiding behind my ability to shoot, dribble, a basketball, or coaching. I was hiding the fact that I was a sexually abused child. I was hiding the fact that it really does bother me that my biological parents gave me up at birth and I lived the first 3 months of my life in an orphanage. I was like, I didn't want to ever address that. People applauded me and thought I was good enough because I could do that basketball thing. And it took a while for me to start to love and embrace all of who I was. So this adversity conversation is really about my personal relationship with the subject. When life punches you in the mouth and you feel alone, when you feel like the walls are closing in and you don't have answers, nobody understands me, nobody understands what I'm going through, it's very challenging, my father's not there, someone in my life passed away, I can't get into that school, I keep failing that class, whatever it might be, I want to talk about that. And so I started this company to do that. And I'm an inspirational speaker and author. I just currently accepted a job at Vanderbilt University. You guys can clap for me, that's pretty good. I just recently accepted a job to become the chief of staff at Vanderbilt for men's basketball. We'll be working side by side with Jerry Stackhouse, which is a whole nother way to make adversity your advantage. You like that? Yeah, I'm excited about that. It actually won't be announced today afternoon. But nonetheless, I do those two things now full time. So I want to share with you, before we kind of really get into my 7 steps that I created to make adversity your advantage, and I really created them just for my personal survival. It really wasn't about anybody else. It was just like, I got to survive, I got to live. So how are you going to do it, Adell? Like, how are you going to go and live a better life? Because I know there's greatness inside of me. I know I feel it. I know you feel it. There's something I can be doing, I should be doing. But I do have a lot of excuses and reasons why I shouldn't. Because my daddy wasn't there. Because my mom verbally abused me. Because I was sexually abused. Because I was adopted. Because I'm black. Because I'm a woman. I mean, there's excuses we have. But that doesn't change what I feel, that I'm on assignment, I'm on a mission. I should be going after what it is in my heart that I want. So I created these 7 steps because I thought maybe if it helps me, it can help someone else. The first thing I want you to do before we kind of get going is something fun. I want you to think of a number between 1 and 10. Think of a number between 1 and 10. Once you get your number, just kind of look up at me so I know we're all connected on the same page. Everybody got the number? Excellent. I want you to do something kind of crazy. Add 2 to that number. Add 2 to that number. We're good? You lost anybody yet, Howard? Do something really crazy and add 3. Add 3 to that. Add 3. Everybody? Still good. I want you to do something really crazy and subtract the first number. We good? You guys in the back, you good?
Yes, we are.
You guys want to add or subtract next? Add, yeah, it's the easiest. Add 2. Let's add 2. Now, if you don't have this number, we should all be happy. We should all have 7, right? So what happened? Wow, how did I create your outcome for you? So what we did was say, hey, you pick your number, which is going to represent you. And then I gave you 4 instructions. I said add 2 to your number. I said add 3 to your number. And then I did something that will happen to you a lot in your life. I asked you to subtract yourself. And you willingly did it. You subtracted the first number, which is a representative of you. And so from that point on, and then I kind of gave you an illusion that you were still in control by asking you if you wanted to add or subtract. But I know we're all conditioned because math, pluses is easier than minuses. So I knew you were going to pick plus. And so we have this number and I kind of created your outcome for you. And the message in that is that as soon as you subtract yourself from the equation, you are at the mercy of whoever wants to be in control of your existence. You no longer have control as soon as you subtract yourself. And that means, and I've kind of heard it already, I've only been in the convention center over the last hour and a half, but I've heard it already about the messages you get from maybe your teachers, or maybe the media, or maybe your environment. And so you're always going to be getting these messages, but I would challenge you to step up and be a participant and own your own outcome. And never subtract yourself from the narrative. Include yourself. I'm here. You're not subtracting me. I decide whether I'm going to subtract or add, or what information I'm bringing in, or which ones I'll reject. I'll decide that. I'm actively participating in this. Smell what I'm cooking? Never subtract yourself from the equation. Own your outcome. It's a huge part of making adversity your advantage. It's a huge part of taking responsibility for what happens in your life, and your family's life, and the people who love you in the future. So I'll go right into my 7 steps to make adversity your advantage. The first one is acknowledge it. What do we need to acknowledge? Well, this whole event is about acknowledging the fact that there's an issue with men of color in our country. We're all here acknowledging that something's wrong with that data. We don't like it. Let's do something. This is kind of like an answer to a problem. In your personal life, you have things that you need to acknowledge. And it can be a small scale. I need to acknowledge that I don't study enough to make the good enough grades to get into that school. The sooner you can acknowledge that you don't study enough, then now we can move forward with a plan of action. But as long as you continue to not even acknowledge it, well, you have subtracted yourself from the equation, and now you end up anywhere. So let's acknowledge it. Things I had to acknowledge. That I was adopted. I don't know my biological family, don't know anybody who shares my same DNA. That's my story, that's my journey. At some point, I got to embrace it. That my mother did have 5 husbands. I hated all of it. I grew up in a very dysfunctional home. We had over 70 foster kids living in and out of my home. That's my journey, that's my story. I got to acknowledge. Got to own that. You got a truth that you gotta own. You gotta acknowledge. My father, I played a lot of basketball. I coached a lot of basketball. I felt like I was pretty good at it. But my adopted father opted out of parenting. He's never seen me play basketball, never seen me coach a basketball game. Just kind of said, you can have that. I gotta acknowledge it. That's my journey. So you may have something you need to acknowledge. It can be small, it can be big, I don't care. This adversity thing doesn't matter if it's an academic thing, it doesn't matter if it's a massive thing, like something going on in your personal life, in your personal world. When you acknowledge it, and the way you can, is asking yourself empowering questions. Like, what is this here to teach me? Where is my pain? What are the things that are making me uncomfortable? Let's acknowledge it. Where are my problems? I coach basketball, kids want to shoot the 3. You can't shoot the 3, because you don't work on it enough. And it's hurting our team if you keep shooting. So where's our pain? The fact that you need to stop shooting. What is this here to teach you? It's here to teach you to get in the gym and put in more time. So that now you can make more shots in the game, we can win more, and all everybody's happy. Right? So what is it here to teach you? And be honest with yourself. Because there's a lesson in everything. There's a lesson in every challenge. Every challenge is an opportunity. And if you can find it, I think you'll be a lot different than your peers, because the stats say a lot of young men of color don't find it. That's what the statistics say. So you can separate yourself immediately by just asking these empowering questions instead of why me? Why not me? Why not me? What is this lesson here to provide? There are 3, this is my personal opinion. In a movie, there are 3 characters that make up a good movie. It's called a drama triangle. Every movie has a villain. Someone who's out to manipulate, do bad, cause harm. Every good movie has a victim. Someone who needs to be saved. Come rescue me. Oh my gosh, I can't get out of it myself. Come save me. A victim. And then every good movie has a hero. Someone who comes in, saves the day. And oftentimes the movies that I like the most are when the victim becomes the hero. Like when the victim was kind of down and felt like they couldn't do it, and then you get your Rocky theme song, dun dun, and then they start like working out or something, and it's like, let's go, and they become the hero in the end. That's a great movie. That's what your movie should be. That's what your movie should be. Be the hero in your story. And I don't care if you're the villain right now. I don't care if you're the victim right now. You need to transition yourself to being, I win in the end. I win in the end. But that doesn't happen on accident. It happens intentionally. It happens with deliberate, intentional action. And sometimes it's just as simple as a decision. I'm the author of this story. I'm the hero of this movie. You can give yourself a hero name. I used to be Showtime when I played basketball. That's my hero name. Now I'm the elevator because I take people higher. You guys are my favorite. Take people higher. Right? So which one are you? There are many times, obviously, we're all human. We flow through these things. I was a villain. I talked so poorly about my mom for 10 years. How bad she was, what kind of woman would do what she did. She didn't protect me, she didn't raise us in a home where it's secure, she's a hypocrite, all these things. I talk so bad about it. Villain. And then on the other side, I wanted people to excuse my bad behavior by saying, well, you know, my dad's not coming to the game like yours. I didn't have nobody to give me that. I was being a victim. Feel sorry for me. Let me tell you something about the victim. Nobody's coming to save you. They ain't coming. I waited a long time for my dad to just call and say, hey, I probably should have come to a game or two. He ain't called. He's not gonna call. It's not happening. I wanted my mother to come to like apologize for some of the things that it just didn't happen. But my life and my assignment, like I gotta stay on track. I gotta live this for me. So I realized that my mother's no longer here. Her life ended. She's not even here to even call and say sorry anymore. So what am I going to do? My responsibility is mine. I got to go from villain, victim to hero of my own story. And never, never, never subtract myself from the equation. Very important that you decide to become the hero of your story. The second step, we can acknowledge something, but oftentimes we just don't fully embrace it. We don't fully accept it. To accept is defined as the ability to embrace and actually love something. So there's a lot of things we don't love about ourselves because sometimes we've been conditioned to feel like there's something wrong with us. I love everything about every aspect of my life. That took 35 years to become the woman who can say, I love the fact that I was adopted, but guess what? I was chosen by someone else. Guess what? I got to be in an environment where I could be a basketball player. That happened for me. I grew up on Tobacco Road. I don't know if you know what Tobacco Road is. It's the only place in the country that has 4 high major Division I programs within 2 hours of each other. Nowhere else in America is that possible. As a byproduct of that, it became a large part of the conversation in my world. Large part of the conversation. I'm happy it was basketball and it wasn't drugs, it wasn't alcohol, because I could have gone those routes too. So I'm fortunate. So now I'm going to accept these things, the bad things that happen to me. And one thing you got to accept in life is that bad things happen to good people. They do. For some reason we feel like that's a teacher. She shouldn't treat me that way. That's a teacher that's human. Treating you the way she's capable of treating you. And maybe that doesn't feel good. But you still got to be on assignment and do your thing. Accepting your journey, accepting your uniqueness, your blackness, your brownness, how tall you are, how short you are, how fast you are, people want to be fast kids want to be taller, taller kids want to be faster, skinny people want to be bigger, bigger people want to be skinny. Be you. And love that version of yourself and offer that to the world. One of the none of these steps are rocket science. You've probably heard some version of this already. This is just my perspective of it. This is the Serenity Prayer. I like it because it's simple And it just keeps me reminding me of what's what. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Accept it. Accept it. It's huge. That may be a little prayer you say to yourself. It's getting dark. I feel like I'm by myself. I don't like this situation. I don't like what's happening. My heart got broken. I'm not good enough. I feel like I got rejected. They're not treating me right. Just, maybe take 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Remind yourself. And then that step 3 is when you make a decision. I don't think there's anything greater than a decision. Than someone with a made-up mind. Because you will get what you decide to go get. You will get what you decide to go get. I remember when I was younger, I wanted the new Jordans. I plotted, I schemed, I asked my uncle, my aunt, my grandma, collected my dollars until I had the Jordans, because we had a big game that next Friday. You will get what you want. We all have the capacity to do it. You got to decide what you want. You can't have limitations on that. You can't have limitations on it. So this is where I decided to rewrite my story. I drew a line in the sand. In that video, you saw one of the situations with my mother. I got a call that she might not make it another day. And that's when I made a decision about how I was going to be a daughter. From here on out, I'm going to be the best daughter. There's no questions asked. At some point, you're going to have to draw a line in the sand. I'm on this side of it. I'm making a decision. I don't mess with alcohol. I don't mess with drugs. I'm on assignment. I treat women right. Like at some point, you're just going to have to make that decision with yourself. Results tend to follow that. They do. When I made that decision when I graduated college, I want to be successful. I didn't know what that looked like, but I needed to be able to pay my phone bill and rent. So I just wanted to be successful and take care of myself. That was a decision. Make decisions and get clear and concise about it. One of the things that was very empowering to me, I studied a guy named Bob Proctor, who's currently still my mentor and a coach of mine. I learned how my brain works, and I felt more empowered with that information. And I thought, man, if everybody else, young people, old people, if I'd have learned this sooner, I would have not been the victim or villain as long as I did. So several things. Between the ages of 0 to 7, we can't reject any information that comes in to our conscious mind. There are two minds, conscious mind, subconscious mind. The top of this diagram reflects the conscious mind. Those 5 multi-sensory learners are what we are. So we have 5 senses that come into the conscious. Down below that, where it says thought, stir, emotion, is your subconscious mind. So for me, I call that my spirit. I call that thing that's going to live long after I do. But when we're from 0 to 7, we don't have the ability yet to reject information. So if I grew up in a home where there was sexual abuse, verbal abuse, alcoholism, based on what I saw, it's pretty much so downloaded into my spirit. And it'll dictate how I feel and think about things moving forward and in the future. That was liberating to me, because then I knew if I was downloading that way, I could change that. I can manipulate it and now change it. It's part of me mastering my language. It's part of the reason why I have a mission statement. I have a manifesto. I'm on assignment. I communicate it to myself every day. Because I know I'm a multi-sensory learner. And every time I say it, and every time I can hear it out loud, and I can feel that vibration in my spirit, those are the things that are going to leave a ripple effect in the world that will last long after I do. From the ages of 7 to 15, depending on the individual, you can only reject 30% of what comes in through your multi-sense. So what you watch on TV, what you're hearing about who you are, people set these expectations and put you in these boxes. I heard someone today, I don't know if he's still in the room, but he said that I've learned how to question things. I've learned to challenge what I've been taught. This is where you get to the point where you start challenging what you've been taught because it doesn't make sense. And so now when you get 17, 18, and this is the group I was kind of working with because I worked on a college campus for 19 years. Now they come to me and they're like, I don't like that. I don't like that. They want to question everything. They're challenging what they've been taught. You have the ability to start questioning things. And when you do, now you can download new information, new ideas, but you got to align it with the decision you make. If I know I want to be an attorney one day, now I just start downloading every single thing that's going to help me manifest that goal. I want to be the elite in my field of public speaking and personal development. I got to download everything that's going to help me get closer to that goal. Conscious mind, subconscious mind, and then that little thing down there is your body. We are spiritual beings living in a physical body. We think we are more of our physical body. We are spiritual beings living in a physical body. So the body is an instrument of the mind. The mind controls every action, everything that comes out of your mouth, every decision you make. And most of it has been downloaded in you. You have no idea. So I would challenge you, make a decision. What are you going to be? What do you want to do? What assignment are you on? And whatever it is, I don't care. Make sure it's for the good of the people around you. You got a mother somewhere that can't wait for you to make it and succeed. You got younger siblings somewhere that can't wait for you to make it, that you're an example for. I don't care what you do. Just do something and decide. And then download all the information that's going to help you manifest that. The mind produces those results. 3 things that I think are very important. Your speech and your language, mastering your language. I hope you've already heard it from me, and this is not something I just do when I speak. But my mission statement, I say it out loud to myself at least 5 times a day. It takes me 90 seconds to say it. You know, if I don't have 12 to 15 minutes to focus on me and decide what I want to do and speak the right language that's going to get into my spiritual DNA, then I'm not putting myself on the right pedestal. You got to put yourself first. And sometimes you got to be a thinker, and you got to exercise this thing here between the ears. Mental exercise. So concise choice of positive words. What words do you use to define yourself? Speak the right language. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing about your spiritual DNA that's wrong. Your mental capacity that's wrong. You got a capacity to do anything. They've not found any limitations to the human being. Not in theology and not in science. We took a tree and we turned it into paper. We took that paper and then we turned it into a cup. You understand that? Human beings. Took an idea and turned it into a podium. Took an idea between the shoulders and turned it into a MacBook. You understand? These are just human beings. These things weren't here 20 years ago. Someone made a decision, decided, and then they said everything that comes in is going to align with that, and all of a sudden you live in a new world based on one individual's thoughts. Be that person that creates the next new thing. And not maybe on a big scale, but maybe just in your family. Maybe just in your community, with your friends. Create something special. Clear visualization. See it. See it. Walk in it between the ears. That's a real thing. Your imagination is a powerful thing. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and fake. And what I mean by that is when I imagine myself standing on this stage and killing it. I got 2 guys in maroon shirts over there like loving it. You know, that's already happening in my subconscious spirit. Now I can just go out and walk in it. Just go and walk in it. Athletes do it all the time. High performers do it all the time. People who operate at a high level see it happening first. Not 1 time, not 2 times, not 3 times. That's what they do. They exercise their mind and use it on their behalf so they can get results they want. But you got to have a decision made in advance. You got to know what assignment you're on. And then the corresponding feeling. I told you when I first got up here and said my mission statement that I read it and it made me feel good about me. That's important. It made me feel good. So those feelings attached to those words are what affirmation and affirming who you are really are. Speak life, things that make you feel good. I'll I'll be the best son. My mother will never be disappointed in me. I'm right now, my grandmother passed away. This is the woman that loved me more than anything and taught me how to love. She's not here anymore.